Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello, everybody. How are ye? Cornelius here, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius, and this week's podcast is brought to you in conjunction with confusion, delusion, and a pinch of what the fuck. It is Friday the 3rd of November and I'm home alone. I'm in the John Hume War Room and the electricity is off, the heat is off. I have an extra layer of clothes on. I am in frugal mode. I'm in batten down the hatches mode. Do you know that kind of way? I have no wife and kids around the house, so I feel that it's okay for me to be cold. I can fucking bear that. I'm a man. I can take on that punishment. A little bit of coldness never killed anyone. Well, it probably did, but that's what I'm doing anyway. The queen is in the kingdom with the childer, and they're wild and free, and they could be anywhere in their imagination right now, but physically they're in Kerry. And we had a wonderful time down in Kerry. We did a Patreon podcast down there a couple of days ago, so anyone who's on the Patreon will have heard that, and just the joy that we had down there. And the lads are still down there and they're squeezing the last leaf of time that is the midterm break, aka Halloween, down in Kerry. I came back on Wednesday. I was supposed to do a sketch on Thursday, but something happened. Couldn't do the sketch, and that's fine. But I have been working flat out. I've been working absolutely flat out. And yeah, I was gigging in Ballincollig last night, and I'm going to Newbridge, County Kildare tonight, and I said I better get this old podcast up and running and out to the masses before I hit the road. But before I do, I want to say thank you to all the supporters of the Patreon. I hope you enjoyed the Halloween special. I got loads of messages saying that I did, and I'm so glad that my pain, my physical pain, caused you joy, because any of you who listen to it will know that I was talking about I was talking about my balls, really. But if you want to listen to that, you're going to have to pay to listen to it, because I'm not going to give you that content for free. Contrast is all around us, guys. One man's taste is another man's poison. And the world is heavy at the moment. I'm trying my best to be light, but it is difficult. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for all your support. I'm delighted and excited and thrilled to see so many people over and, you know, just jumping in and signing up to the Patreon. It really makes me happy. And I also want to say there's another fucking thank you there as well. Let's get all the thank yous out, Con. Another thank you is due to all of you scallywags who've bought tickets to my show in the Everyman, A Bird in the Hand. It's selling really well. I'm like, what the fuck? This is selling really well. So I'm really, really thrilled about that. If you're listening in Dublin, or if you're listening in Kilkenny, or listening in Limerick, I'm also there. And tickets are moving along nicely. I'm in Dolan's in Limerick, and Whelan's in Dublin, and Clears in Kilkenny. And it's all in the new year, you know. And the show is a wigwam of stories and poems and just kind of humorous anecdotes all tied together at the end in a decorative bow. There isn't a bow. That's just wordplay. But I do genuinely think that it is my very, very best work, and I can't wait to share it with you. And so thank you so much for buying tickets, and they're genuinely flying. And if you haven't got tickets and you want to get tickets, there are obviously still tickets available. You just go onto my website, www.corneliuspatrickosullivan.com. And that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. You have to kind of sell yourself, you know. Today's podcast, I don't know what I was going to talk about today, but I'll tell you, I did a hike when I was down in Kerry, right? Down in Valentia Island. I hiked up this, up onto this cliff face called Brayhead. And there used to be a watchtower out there years and years ago, and you can see the Skellig Michaels out there. It's quite a beauty. Like, it is breathtakingly beautiful. And there's quite a lot of little fucking magic in the air down around Valencia, I always find. And anyway, I did this on Sunday, and I did it solo. And I had been planning on doing it. I'd been planning on going to Kerry down to the kids and the wife after I finished work on Saturday night. I was in Thurles on Saturday night. I came back here and got up early the next day, and I had a load of like just clerical shit to do to get ready for the week. Got all that done, and I was in the car on the way down to Kerry for 2 o'clock, and I landed down around 4 o'clock. And it was actually on Monday that I went on the hike. Sorry, I'm getting confusing myself anyway. But the plan was always to go on the hike. I'd said to Noelle, I said, look, all I want to do when I go down to Kerry is spend time with you and the kids, and, you know, just like whatever the kids want to do, I want to do it with them. If they want to play, I'm going to play. If they want to watch a movie, I'm going to watch a movie. If they want to go for a walk, I'm going to go for a walk. If they want to go to the pub, my kids love going to the pub. Oh my God, they love it. I don't know where they get it from. I just don't know, because myself and Noelle hardly touch a drop. Ha 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 ha. You're being funny there, Cornelius, are you? I actually am. Thanks a million. Thanks for noticing. Have you bought tickets to my show? No, I haven't actually. When's it on? Well, I'm glad you asked. Where are you living? Well, I actually live in Cork. Well, the 27th of January. I'm in the Everyman Theatre, and tickets are on sale now. And I'll stop you there now, actually. I'd have no fucking interest. You're going, fuck yourself, so. But, yeah, so I wanted to do this walk. I wanted to do this hike. And Noelle wouldn't be interested in the hiking as much as I would be, and each to their own, but she was totally happy for me to go away and do it by myself. And so yeah, I did, and I did it once before, and it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful, and the views are splendid. And the weather on the day, it was a bank holiday Monday, so there was a few people around, but the weather on the day was, all you could say now was, it was charming. 15 degrees. I got there, I had my hiking boots on, and I had a jacket, a jumper, and a t-shirt, obviously. And I was watching people coming down from the hike, and they all had their jackets off, and I was like, do you know what now? Don't bring the cumbersome jacket with you. Feel the freedom of just being you. Shirt, pants, jumper, up you go, down you come. You have the attire, you have the footwear. So I did, and before I went up, I smoked a humongous joint, like a fucking ginormous one, right? And because the hike is about 3.5, 4 hours long, you know, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And sometimes when I'm by myself and I'll smoke a bit of weed, and if I'm in the right frame of mind, Jesus Christ, I see everything totally differently. I see things in a way, kind of a mystical way, like, you know, and I'd be reading into this, I'd be listening to the wind, and I'd be watching the way a leaf might fall off a tree, or I'd be watching the way the wind will rustle in the rushes, and I don't know, I see things that probably aren't there, or may not be there, or I see things that are there and that are hidden in plain sight. But I got up to the very top, and the sun was beating down. Oh my God, it was like a summer's day. And as I said, there's an old abandoned station up there, and there's a wall at the back of it, and I hopped up on the wall, and I was able to sit with my back straight against the wall up on a high perch and overlook the ocean and see the Skelligs on my left hand side, and the ocean going for as far as it could possibly go until the sky met it. And the next stop is America. If you were swimming, no, you'd want to be a strong swimmer to swim to America, I'd say, from Valencia, to be honest, lads. But it is the next place that you'd stop. And it was unreal, and I felt that I was in a really cool place, and the sun was beating down on my face, and I closed my eyes, and I could still see the orange ball of the sun penetrate through my eyelids and like kind of just fill my whole skull with a ball of orange. And I did some meditating, and I did some affirmations, and I did some I'm into all that stuff, guys. I'm into all that stuff in a big, big way. And I sat there for maybe 15 or 20 minutes. I sat there till I felt, you know what, I've sat here enough. I think it's time to descend. And I hopped off and I was watching all the tourists. There was a lot of tourists around, and the different nationalities and the different languages and the different skin colours and the different noises that their mouths made. And it just kind of filled me with joy to see so many people experiencing the same experience as I was simultaneously. And I trotted away down Braehead, down to make my way back to the car. It was about maybe, I think it could have been nearly 4 hours, even 4.5 hours before I actually got back to the car. And and I was otherworldly when I landed. Otherworldly. I swear to God, it was, I just felt that I was living in this world, but I was seeing it completely different. I don't know how to explain that, but that is the best that I can do. So I hopped into my Yaris, and I had the radio turned off on the way over, and I hadn't spoken to anyone for maybe 4.5, 5 hours. And I flicked on the radio, and Radio 1 came on. RTE Radio 1 came on, and it's a station that when I was a younger person, I would throw my eyes up to heaven if someone threw Radio 1 on. I was like, oh my God, this person is boring as fuck. Jesus Christ, all they ever have is on Radio 1 now is debates and news and politics and boring. Change the channel. That's the old younger version of me, you know. But it was a bank holiday Monday, so the programming was different. It was a different kind of a schedule, and they had a singer on, and the singer's name was Lisa O'Neill, and she was playing songs from her album All of This Is Chance. And I had never listened to Lisa O'Neill in my whole entire life, and I don't know why. She's a singer-songwriter. She's a little bit younger than me. She's from Cavan. And I love Irish rock folk music. I would have always loved that growing up. I would love Damien Rice and all that kind of stuff. And it was on, and I had seen her advertised on posters for gigs down through the years, but yet never felt compelled to go and see or listen to any of her music. And I had been complaining recently as well to a friend of mine that I'm not experiencing new stuff, and that the joy, like I'm trying to look for the joy within life. And one of my biggest joys when I was younger was listening to new music and experiencing new music. But when you're in your late 40s and you're trying to run a business and you're trying to get your comedy career up off the ground, and you've got 3 children knocking around the place, 2 of them very small, and a wife and a mortgage and a dog, and like a crippling weed addiction, time is just, it's just not around to sit back and to listen to music. But this was a bank holiday Sunday and Monday, and my schedule was cleared. I had nothing to do, and I could listen to this music. All I had to do was get back to Waterville, and so I hopped on anyway, and Lisa O'Neill was on the radio, and she was talking about this album. All of This Is Chances, the album, and it's a heavy helping from this Cavan maverick. Like, her voice is just, I don't know how to explain. It's guttural, and it's like her voice came up from the earth. It would be like as if the earth formed a mouth and spoke to you. And I just was fucking blown away by it. Absolutely blown away. And and the title of the album is All of This Is Chance, and the opening song is the title song, and it starts with the title track, and it's so at the very start of it, she uses some lyrics from a Patrick Kavanagh poem called The Great Hunger, and it's an epic poem published way back in the 1940s. And this is not a usual song, right? It's not like guitar and drums and bass, and it's totally different. It was like it had a drone, like a kind of a bagpipey start, and then strings came in, just like ever so gently, and then she opens her mouth, right, and straight away I was conjuring up the image of a witch. Because she sings songs, the spoken word, and as I said, the first couple of sentences are directly from that poem, and it is an epic poem, like, you know. And fuck it, the shock of her voice, and then against the contrast of the thudding and the strings and the yawning of the I don't know, is it like it's like some sort of a box, you know. And then suddenly a guitar comes in and it's aggressive. It's like it's like one of the strings is out of tune, but it isn't out of tune, but it sounds like it's out of tune, but it fits eerily perfect with the song. And then some electronica comes in, and this is like a feast for my ears. I can't believe this is, and like I'm driving along and I'm kind of in this haze, and I'm like, the song infects me. It absolutely infects me. And the melody is difficult because it's up and it's down and it's in and it's out and it's soaring and it's swooping, and the arrangement is so unusual. As I said, it's like, it's not your traditional, you know, guitar, bass guitar, drums, lead. It's just like it's like a fucking melting pot of all different little toys that this genius has put together. And the song is about 6 minutes long, and it's, oh my god, it touched me. It fucking got into me. It absolutely got into me. It got into me so much that when I was coming home on Wednesday, I listened to it on repeat from Waterville to Killavullen, like a 2.5 hour journey. So I must have listened to it, I don't know how many times I listened to it, like fucking just over and over and over and over and over. And it's a brave, ambitious song as well, lads. I swear to God, like, it is like nothing I've ever seen, and it has awoken within me a desire to see Lisa O'Neill live. That's what it has done. And like, isn't that amazing? Isn't that fucking amazing that there's art out there that you've never experienced. There's something out there that you've never listened to or saw or touched or heard or enjoyed, that you will, when you see it, experience that. And that is something to behold, because the world is fucking heavy at the moment. And I think it is important for us to not stick our heads in the fucking sand, but also to try and keep our vibe high, to try and keep the vibration high, and to try and keep, try and keep the positivity flying. But I would urge you guys to go and listen to that album. I've listened to the album since now. I was gigging in Ballincollig last night. I listened to the full album on the way up, and I listened to the full album on the way down. And then this morning, I had to get a haircut. I went into town. I listened to the title track on the way in, and I listened to the title track on the way out. And then I was making a juice inside in the kitchen for myself this morning, or this afternoon, and I had it on again. And it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And it's for me, it's just it's given me kind of a little bit of hope that, there's plenty out there still to see and plenty out there still to do. So with that, guys, I am going to play that song for you, and I'm going to say thank you for listening. I love you all. Stay in by the wall.
Clay is the word, and clay is the flesh. When the potato gatherers, like mechanized scarecrows, move along the side fall of the hill, clay is the word, and clay is the flesh. But the mushroom gatherers, like majestic scarecrows, skip along the side fall of the hill. Watch him, that man on the hill, whose spirit is a wet sack flapping about the knees of time. He lives that his little fields may stay fertile, when his own body is spread in the bottom of a ditch, under two coulters crossed in Christ's name. Be easy. Come with me, imagination, into this iron house, and we'll watch from the doorway the years run back, and we'll know what the peasant's left hand wrote on the page. Be easy, October. No cackle hen, horse neigh, tree sow, duck quack. No cackle hen, horse neigh, tree sow, duck quack. Man, walk on the moon, eat with the stars, try and touch the sun. Born, 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 child, stars in her eyes, eat with her hands, falling from the skies. Turn, 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 see a boy in a field, dig with his hands, pearls from the soil. Learn, learn, learn. The soil itself will turn on me. Say, son, you destined for many things. The soil itself did turn for me. My cilium sang to me from the springs. I saw every color underneath the sun. Turn around the shapes beneath the moon. I flew through a halo in Antarctica. On the coldest day the South Pole knew, and all it is chance as any chance is chance. As chance it is, we end up in the womb. But when I was evicted, love I never knew. I was allowed to leave the iron room to realize we're guided by the vaguest shade of sins. You notice we still notice that is not where we begin. Are you frightened of dying? Are you frightened of the dead? Are you frightened of living? instead. Here, bird in a tree, tree in a cage, never uses wings. Sing, sing, sing.
Staying by the wall.